Hey, everybody, welcome to the Living Well Now page. If this is your first time hanging out with us, welcome to you. If you have been with the Living Well Now community for a while, welcome back. My name's Aaron Lehman, part of the Living Well Now leadership team, and just excited about the shift, the awakening that's happening right now as we're all learning more and more about how we can better take care of ourselves and our families on the body, mind, spirit health front. So first off, I'm just really grateful to be on the journey with each of you, and really excited tonight to be interviewing and hanging out with a longtime friend. This woman has known me for, I think, my whole life, almost, ish, something like that, Sheila.
Not a whole life. You were
Almost
little.
like 4 or 5. I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I'm now 39. So we go back a little ways. You know, you were a part of my subconscious programming days, and I'm grateful for that because you know I know I looked up to you back then, and I still do. I still really like your energy is contagious. Your warmth is off the charts. Every time I see you, yeah, it makes me feel like I'm safe, like I'm home. So I just want to first off just appreciate you and how you show up in this world. We're all really grateful that you're on the planet. So thank you, first off. And then, yeah, so we're going to just talk a little bit about Sheila's journey, natural wellness journey, and young living journey and business journey. So let's start, Sheila, with natural wellness. Like,
Good idea.
Has it been something, a conversation that's going on in your brain for a while? Or, what have been some pivotal moments for you on just your natural wellness exploration? How'd you find young living?
Such a great question. Wow. Because, so you're 39 and I have known you for a long time. And I would say natural wellness, my first supplements, vitamins with natural wellness was with your family. So watching you at 4 taking your vitamins and me thinking, I always thought, why do you need those? Or, I just wasn't brought up that way. So here I am now, Aaron, I'm now 55, but the real aha moment for me, I don't even want to call it aha. It was more of, I was hanging by a thread it's been about 8 years now. So it was like my late 40s, and hanging by a thread is really the best way to put it. And so, thinking about that a little bit, I know that I was an elementary teacher at the time. So I felt overworked. I was overstressed. I was overly tired, even overweight, really for my build and my age at that time. And I now know, I didn't know then, but I now know that my body was overtaxed. And here's what I mean. So for 45, 6, 7 years, my mindset about wellness really wasn't focused on wellness. I was brought up and just in, I don't even want to blame it on my parents. It's just in my world, right? I waited till a symptom happened, and then what do? You take something for it, right? That's just what it was. And I realized too that I thought that I was eating well, right? But I have found out that I was not eating, like I was eating processed foods compared to whole foods. And here's something that is really kind of funny. I'll laugh at myself. I'll tell you, even the Whole Foods title of the grocery store, like the store that you go to, the produce store and all that, we had them. I think we got it in the late 90s where I lived, right? So we had it, but it really wasn't until recently that I feel like, oh, the whole food. Like if we just eat the whole food and not fake stuff, like stuff that's been added, but just the whole food, including the essential oil that's in the plant and the stems, the leaves, whatever. When you cook and eat that way, you're giving your body all that it needs. So anyway, what was happening is I was not well. And I knew it. At least that's something I had learned through a lot of my personal development, is to be intuitive. And I was listening to some things for me, I just didn't know the answer. And so I was going to the doctor. We were doing all these tests about headaches, about all kinds of stuff. It really was, I decided to join Facebook that year. So this is 2012. I created an account and yay, I get to be friends with the Layman's again, you know? So that time I was in Indiana, you're Arizona. And I see your sister put something up about, just the whole thing with how wonderful lavender and peppermint and lemon are helping her in the desert spring. And springtime was my hardest. And I'm like, what is it? So anyway, this is what's so great about, of course, my first thought was, oh no, what's Angela into? But I love Angela. I trust Angela, right? I had no idea what an essential oil was, but I trusted her. I paid attention. Anyway, took me a little while until it was February of 2013. And in that year, Young Living had one of their first, well, I don't know if it was first, but it was new, where they were giving vouchers away to people for signing up. Yeah. And Angela was posting, it's like, guys, it's the last day of the month. So what do? I finally call her, and she was so sweet. She said, you know what? You need to call my mom. We've got, she's already put your name down. I'm like, what is this? There you go. And because I just love that. It really was in your kitchen in North Manchester, Indiana, when I was watching over you guys, and I had to make sure you took your vitamins before whatever. Like, this is, wow, this is cool. You were very intentional. And then I watched you guys grow up. I watched your mom and dad parent, and I just took note. And it was a long time though until I woke up to it, but that's what happened, and I'm so grateful.
Yeah. So keep going on. Just so then, as you've dove in to the Young Living journey, obviously, for those of you who are brand new to Young Living, Young Living is an amazing company. It's been around for 26 years. They have essential oils, yes, but they also have like 600 products. So you've got products in CBD, natural makeup, natural cleaning supplies, kids, babies, pets, supplies, products for kids, babies, and pets. So much, offers us so much. So as you dove in, what have you found? Are there specific products that you really love, oils that are like your go-tos, for somebody who's brand new to Young Living, or they've started and maybe are watching this and want, just would love some product ideas of what supported you and helped your family on the journey?
Great question. And I would also say, back then, just really simply 8 years ago, I mean, really, that's not that long ago.
Yeah.
Essential oils, you weren't hearing about them. It wasn't, now you hear about them everywhere. You can find them everywhere, right? So things like you even mentioned, like natural and wellness in our beauty products and all that, that wasn't really an awareness in the normal kind of world of advertisement or the stores, right? So as an educator, I know what happens is a lot of times there's always a new coin word, each year that something comes up, and then what happens is other companies can take that coin word and then they make it into something that's not really wholesome. So back up, what did I do? So basically, I have to tell you that my number one product, I was thinking, if anyone ever asked me, what is the product you couldn't live without? And it's so hard. I will tell all of you out there, it may seem kind of silly, but it is so hard to pick one. So I kind of, it's not cheating because it is a product. Really what got me, what hooked me, because I did not know what these were. I didn't know how to use them. I was a little skeptical, very skeptical, but it was the kit, the premium starter kit, because I had something that I started using them every day. I didn't know why. I did it because Deb told me to, right? I did it because she's like, use this for that. Use this, just use them. Just use them. So I did. I didn't tell anybody what I was doing, but I was so desperate, right, for a change. And she would say, you know, use the lemon essential oil in your water, and apply the peppermint every night, and put the frankincense on your face. Okay, I really was targeting those spring and fall seasons of what my body was going through. I was targeting kind of a health issues there, but all the other stuff I was just using because I bought this kit. I better use it. That's what I was thinking. And it didn't take, it was 2 months in. So I signed up that last day of February, get my kit early March, May. This, no joke. People are like, what are you doing? Like, what's different? Like, you look like I lost, it's just things that happen. Like, because I was paying attention. I was putting the oils on. The oils were doing the wonderful things for my body. And I was beginning to learn to pay attention to drinking water and not Diet Coke all the time. Why? So, and then I thought, you know, just what happened at the whole Thieves world. Thieves is the blend, you guys, of Young Living's wonderful blend that Gary Young put together so many years ago. And it changed when I switched all of my fragrant, artificially fragrant soaps to, that was one of my first things that I did too, is I changed the soaps to Young Living's Thieves hand foaming soap. And then I also changed, I started drinking water more, and I got rid of my candles, and I was diffusing. That's just all I did. And over this, people were stopping. I'd have someone stop me in the grocery store, and it's like, Sheila, hi, we'd be talking. It's like, what are you doing now? And I was blown away. So they were simple. I really did not dive in big. Like I didn't think, oh, I got to change everything. I wasn't ready. So it was the kit for several months, and then just little changes like that. And I don't know, you know, it's bigger stuff from there. From there, I think the next big jump for me was the Ninja Red. I kept hearing, this is what you need. It gives you the nutrients. There was a word, nutrients. I've been reading. I think my brain. I really do think all my headaches and all that, that's what I felt. I think my brain is nutrient deplete. This seems an easy way to do it. So I started drinking it. Whoa, right? Energy, not hungry as much during the day, sleeping better, you know, just things like that. Didn't know how well it was though until I thought, I don't think I need to do it this month. I'm feeling better. So I didn't order it, right? About 5 months after starting it. I thought, I don't need it. And then I like, oh my golly, why am I dragging again? And why do I feel like I can't think and I don't have that? So Ninja Red has become another just product that I can't do without. I would be so sad, but we don't have to worry about it. You know, the thing is we've got so many other things. I realize now, so many other supplements, so many other things. So I do my supplements like you did at 4. I can now say at 55, I do it. And it's the right thing. It's the good thing.
Oh, that's amazing. Thanks for sharing all those. Those of you who are watching this either live or catching this on replay, or maybe Sheila sent this to you or I sent this to you. I think the biggest thing we all kind of think through is like, I mean, that starter kit, game changer, right? And then it's like, okay, what other health goals, right? What other health goals do each of us have, you know? And if you are thinking, okay, I would like to switch to a more natural home, you know, Young Living really can help you do that. And you can skip Target trips, and you can skip Walgreens trips, and you know, you really can say adios to so much of that and just start to really replace so many products with Young Living products. Quality, in our opinion, it's better. That's just for those of you who watch this, definitely reach out to Sheila, reach out to the Living Well Now member who shared this, or, you know, reach out to myself. We'd love to help you honestly dive into that starter kit, because that is the game changer. Sarah and I will still order it at least once a year, and then we'll get this everyday oils, you know, which you can get on Essential Rewards, and then that, you know, that's always a nice refill on a lot of the staples. But we're not, like, I think what's fun, Sheila, is like, we're not messing around. Like, this, and it's so body, mind, spirit in my brain. And how I think of it is like, so much of it is just about reminding me to breathe.
Mm.
You know, I literally put on, 6 oils in the morning, and it maybe seemed a little like over the top for some of you watching, but it's like, no, I'm putting that on because patchouli is like, it actually reminds me of my uncle. He must have been wearing
Oh.
patchouli of some sort growing up.
Oh.
And so I love that. And ylang ylang is cologne. And, you just start to make these little shifts. And it really, for me, is,
Yeah.
we've almost come to think we're our minds. Like we're our minds. We're constantly in like the mind. And it's like, wait, I'm also a body and a spirit and on an earth. So I feel like the oils, I don't know about for you, but that for me, it's like,
Well, you bring up a
personal.
good point, is that it's not just about, I mean, it's not just like, oh, really? You can just smell out of an oil, a bottle, and that sort of thing. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, that's just the first layer, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and what we come to find out, the whole food that was
Mhm.
created
Yeah.
for us, right? The whole food is good for us. I mean, it can be. I mean, there's
Mhm.
some, but that's why an essential oil is so incredible for our body. So I want to add this, as you were talking, it made me think
Yeah.
too, is what I really wrapped my mind around a few years ago too was all the habits, all the things I was doing leading up to, age 47. I think it was 47 when I was really struggling, right, with my
Mhm.
problems.
Mhm.
It didn't happen overnight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was all the little steps of getting kind of like, I gotta have my Diet Coke because I can't hardly get through the afternoon. I gotta have it. Gotta have my.
Mhm.
And I remember even gotta have. I remember months before 47, really thinking, I'm hearing myself say that, and I don't want to be that kind of person, but I gotta have it. So anyway, little things like this Yankee Candle, or this whatever lotion. I gotta have it. It smells so good, and I would look
Yeah.
for anyway. So little steps.
Yeah.
I didn't think. Well, I taught my students that you
Yeah.
got to read now because it's going to impact your life later. But my choices all along the way were going to impact me 10 years, 20 years. And that came to head when I was 47 at the end of my rope with some health issues, major stuff that we couldn't figure out. By the way,
Mhm.
all of that really through the change of diet and exercise and using essential oils and trading out all my other junk with
Mhm.
natural young living oil infused things. I don't have any of those issues anymore. In fact, my doctor, I remember still this day, my nurse called me months later asking me, my doctor wants to know if you're okay. We have not heard from you, because
Wow.
that's how better I got. But anyway, this is
Yeah.
what I would say to anyone out there listening is, if anything of this resonates, or if you've been hearing about a more natural way, or why is it bad to have the fragrances, or I like my
Mhm.
fabric softener, I don't want to get rid of it, but why is it bad, or whatever. But it's something's resonating. Listen, because
Mhm.
your choices affect your next decade and the decades
Mhm.
after, and that's what's important to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. So let's transition, Sheila. This has been awesome on the product end. As you started sharing the oils, I don't know how soon that was, but again, those of you who are watching this or catching this on replay, Young Living has a business opportunity. Some of us choose it, and a lot of folks don't. But some of us do choose to do it for lots of different reasons. I'm excited for all of us to hear Sheila's reasons. But yeah, how did that light bulb go off, or how did that start happening for you? Was it easy? Was it a
Yeah.
struggle? Anyway, tell
All
me a
the
little bit
above.
about that. Yeah, totally. Right.
Oh, well, I'll add a third one.
Yep.
I didn't choose it, and I did not, I didn't not choose it. It chose
Right.
me, and here's how.
Love it. Love it.
So, literally, everyone, this was all on trust. This was all on. I was ready to get better. I reached out myself. I made the first move to a trustworthy person in my life who I saw doing something else. And I thought, why not learn more? Then when Deb, that night when we're talking and I hadn't smelled it, I haven't seen it. We're Arizona, Indiana. She's like, Sheila, I know you're going to love them, and your heart, you're going to want to share them. So I'm like, I don't know what that means. Like, okay. Deb. So I sign up, and your mom said at the end, when she said, just so lovingly, she's like, I'm so excited to be in business with you. Bye. I mean, whatever, we hang up. I'm like, okay, I have no idea what this means. I really wasn't searching for that, but she knew. She knew, and she knew what I want. And I didn't tell anyone for a couple months. I didn't. It was my sister. The person I knew I could trust with the words essential oil was my sister Charla, because I knew she mentioned she'd been putting some in her water, drinking water, and she had worked at a chiropractor at the time. So anyway, I mentioned it to her, and she was like, "Oh, great." And she loved essential oils. Like, okay. So really, what happened is, though people were noticing, I was telling them about it, but I really wasn't even thinking. I didn't know what the business was. I was teaching it was part-time then, whatever. But it really was when I saw something click for my sister, and I saw what was happening with her coming alive. And her getting well, and this is just a few months time, but she's like, we could do this. And your mom really investing in me, giving me some books to read on network marketing. I'm like, all I can remember were the Amway days as a little kid, my mom and dad going to meetings with someone and thinking, whatever. Well, okay. So I didn't know, but I trust, and kept going. And then all it took was, my sister just like, Sheila, I've got women who want to know. You're the teacher. What are we going to do? And I did love to teach. So I loved all right, this is what we'll do. We gathered women together, and I'd love to coach women. And I just did what I could do, learned what I could along the way. But it took about, it didn't take too long for, to see what my really paychecks kind of, going up. It was enough to pay for my Essential Rewards order every month. For those of you just, that's a wonderful program Young Living has. I love it because I earn so much. But then it got to be where I remember hitting silver, which was a really big deal. And when we saw the paycheck, we're like, even Andy said, okay, what is this? What's going on? And that's when one more year, then about 4 years from when I started, when I hit gold, I remember saying to Andy, I would love to do this full time instead of part-time teaching. Do this really, I would say I still kind of do it part-time, though it's all I do. I feel like I can do so many other things as well because I have the flexibility. But I just switched. But there's so much that I get back, and I still have the possibility. Unlike teaching part-time, I have the possibility that I could go on and on and on if I'd like. Meaning I could raise the ceiling or the ceiling just keeps raising for that paycheck kind of thing. So
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. And just I mean, my mom, that's so funny that I mean, this is the journey, right? Where it's like you fell in love with the products and then just started sharing, and Charlotte got excited, and you guys just started teaching people. And, and again, this business is there's a lot of details to it, but that's a really, the basics are just like we recommend movies, just like we recommend, a smoothie recipe or, or a restaurant to a friend. This is obviously more intentional. If you have Thousandaire goals, if you want to, grow to the rank of silver and gold, right? There's different intentionality levels, but if you're willing, right? If you're willing to be coached, if you're willing to learn the skills, if you're willing to make the entrepreneurial mindset shift, tell me a bit about that. Has that been a journey for you? I know for me, it's been a journey of we're not raised in the entrepreneurial brain, right? But somehow we have to then develop it. how is that? What's that been like for you?
Oh, great
Yeah, I mean,
question.
we're obviously still in process. I know too.
We are still in process, and I would just say, number one, I mean, there's so many things we cannot compare ourselves to
Right.
anyone in this journey. We can look up to people and we can strive to, like, what is that person doing? If you do, find someone that is really working the business in a way that attracts to you, then find out what they're doing and do it. But we just can't compare. So really, for me, the biggest jumps that I make and have made, and what was happening were the events and attending events. First of all, convention, just making it happen. My mindset, scarcity mindset. That's what I lived in for many years. That's what I hung on to up till recently. Had to work hard to get rid of that. Like, oh, it's too expensive. I can't do that. Not seeing, again, I told you about the whole health thing, about how our choices today will impact our tomorrow. Sometimes we invest in network marketing. We invest in the upfront. And I'll tell you, there were times, I was gone at nights doing classes and working during the day, not constantly, that's not the word, because it wasn't that way. It's just more emails to follow up with, more calls to make, just because you have members who need help or people want to know more. So there's a lot more that goes into the front end of your business when you're an entrepreneur, that the back end, then you're reaping the benefits. And to remember, that's what you got to remember, is looking ahead. So just doing classes, putting them, my sister, it was great to have someone to do it with, but we didn't have to. And it was just me. I mean, some people say I don't have a team that around me to doing things. I didn't. My team, you guys were in Arizona. It's like, oh, well, because Deb was still a great supporter. I just, you could find anything on YouTube. I would literally, Aaron, here's a story. I remember one time I was getting ready for maybe a fourth class. And I was ready to up my ante, right? So I heard Connie McDaniel's name through your mom. She was excited maybe one day to meet her. She's a Royal Crown Diamond with our company. And so I YouTubed her. And I don't know if it's still around, but she's in her living room and she is teaching with a little scratch pad. And I'm thinking, I'm a teacher, that's me. She's a teacher. I basically acted like Connie at my class, my fourth class. I thought, okay, so I just did that, and we just kept doing classes, and then you jump in, you just jump in, and you have to be real, and then sometimes you feel like you're not, so then you have to step back, and why isn't? You got to put the work in. Intentionally, and that's why I've stuck with this, because I think I've said this before, and I always see Sarah's beautiful face. I think she's the one that said, Sheila, I love that, at one time. I love who I'm becoming through this process, how I look at my health, but also how I've pushed through a lot of personal stuff, because I was in a job I was comfortable with, but it was getting, I was comfortable with that. And when you get comfortable, you get stale, and you get, this is stereotypical probably, but I'm thinking of myself. You get stuck in a chair and you grow fat and you just do nothing. I mean, like, this keeps me, I'm always on my toes. I'm always doing something, right? And they're always coming up against an obstacle. It's like, all right, what am I going to do? Sometimes I stay stuck for a while, but there's not going to, I'm learning that it doesn't I don't stay stuck as long as I used to. It's like, pick myself up, feel like you're helping so many people. But I can carry what I learn with the skills, and it has come with the reading, with doing wonderful little trainings, right? With you guys, Ignite, that you Living Well Now put on. Those were huge for me, probably almost bigger than, I know bigger for me than, even bigger events that I always bumped up, and pushed through that weekend. So February 2021, if anyone's listening, or 2022, if you're listening, just keep it in mind. Anyway, so that's it. We gotta, do the work. It's worth it, and and don't compare yourself. And that yeah, and then be comfortable in your skin, meaning
Mm-hmm.
don't try to be who you're not. I
Mm-hmm.
kept trying to want more for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I may still want more. I don't know. And when I mean
Mm-hmm.
that, I just mean more like go for higher ranks and that sort of
More
thing.
success. Yeah, 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 totally.
That way, to me, I'm working real hard on the success of of me in relationships as I'm heading into finishing out my 50s.
Yeah.
My 60s, my 70s. I want to live well through that.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that look like? And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah,
Mm.
that's that's it.
Lovely, lovely. What would be, yeah, so my final question would be, and really quickly, those of you who are watching this or check this recording out, or one of us have sent this video over to you, we'll make sure we post like the income disclosure statement. If you do have any specific business questions, or if you are intrigued and wanting to learn more, Living Well Now does do an intro to business call every Wednesday currently. And so you can always hop on one of those. It's about 20, 25 minutes, and you can get more details. Again, maybe it's for you, maybe it's not for you, but like I would 100% at least check it out and
Yes.
see, talk to the friends who sent you this video, connect with Sheila, connect with me. Yeah, don't hesitate to reach out. This is, the thing I'm excited about is, with the GoPro movement and network marketing and what Richard Bliss Brooke is doing, I think more and more we're just continuing to take the whole industry to the next level. And, like you said, it's, nothing's overnight in wellness, and nothing is overnight in business. So those of you who are watching this, just know that, right? Entrepreneurial success takes work. It doesn't just happen to you in
Yeah.
2 nights or something. It takes time and a lot of love. It takes time and a lot of love. So, what would be your what's currently driving you? Yeah, I mean, you said you're kind of closing out 50s and heading into your 60s and 70s, but what would be motivating you today to continue to teach people about oils and wellness, help people on their wellness journey, and also help people who are growing businesses, on your team? Yeah, what's driving you in those zones?
Love it. You know what drives me is I always have had this in my core is helping people just seek truth in their life. And what I mean by that is to not do something or just because, and not really think about why do I do that? Do I eat it that way? And to be open, right, to what what I don't know, what a person um I don't know how to best explain that whole thing about just when I mean like truth, meaning just what's real, and that's
Mm-hmm.
real in foods, real in getting away from artificial anything, but also just being real of who we are, and then just relationships. So I love mentoring and coaching. That's what drives me. I don't if I I make my goals and I know that they're there, but I can reach those a lot faster, a lot easier, a lot less stressful if I concentrate on helping my friends reach their goals. And when I'm like helping, checking in with them and doing that and supporting them and going beside them and doing things, oh my golly, it's like, oh wow, I met a goal this week, but that was because I was helping another person. So I think that's all about, really about a lot of that, and just helping people push through the junk that is coming at us through media, through whatever we're reading, through whatever, right? And to just be able to have some sort of filter or some sort of radar to be aware that we got to be careful to say, is this really what I want to do and where I want to go with it? Or is this not good for me? And I just don't think people stop and breathe. You talked about that earlier. We don't stop and let that happen. So what drives me, my goal really is to continue to get more silvers and above on my team, because I know of the people they become for themselves and their family. That's it's for me, I know, yes, the money changes things. Money is great, and boy, but always on this journey for myself. It's been more personal. And so I keep, what drives me every day, why I get up in the morning is because I have a call that one of my members at 8:00, one of my leaders at 2, and a check-in Zoom call at 8.
Wow.
And I prepare, I can't wait because, and I'm listening and I'm yes, I'm motivating and I'm gaining so much from them, but I want them to push through as well and just crush their goals.
Yeah.
That brings me great joy.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
And I can do that with this work, right?
Yeah.
I can do that with this work, my own home and my own time. It's incredible.
Totally.
So that's what.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. And I will close this with just gratitude for you being willing for me to interview you and for you to share a little bit about your wellness journey and how this natural oily world kind of came to you and how it's evolved, and also then how this business, how you've chosen to grow a business and alongside beautiful people and with your heart. I mean, you just have this heart that really says to people, in my opinion, says to people like, you can get to the bottom of this. You can figure this out. We can, I'm going to support you, but you can figure this out. You can feel better. You can create this business as big as you want if you choose, and so I just am cheering you on, in all things, sister.
Always have.
Yeah.
Always have.
Anyway, those of you who joined us or caught this on replay, lots of love to you. Hope you have a beautiful rest of your night and an awesome week ahead. And again, don't hesitate to reach out to Sheila, myself, your Living Well Now friend, or your Young Living friend who is passionately growing a business. Definitely reach out to that person and say, hey, I want to learn more. I want to do this thing, whatever the case may be for you. So.
Yeah. Do it for the world. We need you. We need you.
We do. I love it. Yes. Amen. It is important. It is so important.
Thanks,
all right.
Aaron.
Thanks so much, Sheila. Yeah. Have a beautiful night.
Bye.
Bye.